we are an immigration advisors. We are based out of Mumbai, and we specialize in immigration programs for US, Canada, and Europe. Now, we have been seeing that there is, last 2 years, we have been getting a lot of inquiries for immigration to Canada. Earlier, US was the #1 destination. Everybody wanted to go to US. But during the last 2 years, we have seen that Canada has become the #1 destination. And there are obvious reasons for this. So let us look at now why people want to move to Canada. Right? So the first and the foremost reason is that Canada has a highly favorable immigration policy. They are welcoming immigrants. Unlike many other countries which are trying to put restrictions to people coming into their country, Canada is in favor of welcoming people over there. Canada is a large country. It is the second largest country in the world, and it is 3 times the size of India. But when it comes to population, it has very scarce population. The total population of Canada will be equal to that of Mumbai and Delhi combined together. And it has huge resources. So obviously they want more people to come over there, which can utilize the resources, which can help them to grow their economy. So Canada has its own agenda of inviting people and building up its economy. Also, Canada is ranked very highly in terms of quality of life. If you look at various parameters, like life expectancy, healthcare, education, in terms of time away from work, family time, etc., Canada scores highly than even countries like US and most of the countries in Europe. So it has one of the highest quality of life, and it has been ranked first by the US News. Also, in terms of safety, it is one of the safest countries in the world. It has been ranked at the 6th position by Global Peace Index. And this becomes very important in the current times. We know how volatile the situation is across the globe. So everybody is looking at safety of their family. And that is what Canada offers. Canada has also been ranked as the best place to live and work in. It has been ranked at #3 position by CNBC. And last but not the least, it has excellent healthcare and public education system. Right? So these are the reasons which make Canada a preferred destination for immigration. Yeah. Now let us look at the Canadian immigration system. Like you would have seen in the video, there are more than 70 plus ways of immigrating to Canada. Right? These programs are categorized into federal programs as well as provincial programs. Federal programs are the one which are run by the federal government or the central government, whereas provincial programs are run by each of the provinces to meet their requirement. Right? Now, Canada is welcoming, they are going to allow almost 3 lakh immigrants every year. And if you can see from the numbers over here, the plan for the next 3 years is to take more than 1 million immigrants. And the good part is that despite COVID, the immigration system is working and draws are being held regularly and invitations are being sent for PR, both at federal as well as provincial levels. Now, let us look at this. I'm sure most of you will be aware about it, but let us revisit what are the benefits of Canadian permanent residency. So first and the biggest advantage is that you can live, work, and study in Canada with your family. The second advantage, which most of you would be looking at, many of you would be looking at sending your children abroad for education. So free education. Now, free education for children. So for children up to 12th grade, in public school, the education is absolutely free. Thereafter, for higher education, you have to pay a very nominal amount. The fee for graduation and post-graduation is nearly 1/5 of what international students would pay. For example, for an international student who goes to Canada, let's say do a course in computers, graduation course in computer science to University of Toronto, which is among the top 25 universities in the world. So the fees are approximately 26,000 Canadian dollars for a year for international students. Whereas for a residence, for Canadian residents, the fees are just about 5,000 to 6,000 Canadian dollars. So you can imagine you will be saving, if you are doing a graduation and post-graduation, let's say for 5 years, you will be saving at least 50 lakhs rupees at least 10 lakh, 10 lakh rupees every year and 50 lakhs rupees over the period of 5 years per child for education in Canada if you have the PR. The other benefit is free healthcare. Now, Canada offers free healthcare to all its residents, and this is becoming very important in the current COVID time, where healthcare is a major issue. Also, Canada offers childcare benefits. Now, if you have small children, then they get some allowances from the government to take care of the children. And there is retirement benefit. So post-retirement, if you meet certain conditions, of course, then you will get a retirement allowance from the government. And the other benefit is that after a certain number of days, let's say the stay of 3 years continuously in Canada, you will get citizenship. And once you get a Canadian citizenship, you get a Canadian passport, which will give you visa-free travel to a number of countries in the world. Not only that, you can also get E2 visa for US, and you can set up your business in US while having Canadian permanent residency. Now, what are the business options for immigration? Right, we as a firm, we specialize only on business immigration to Canada. Given my background as a chartered accountant and a banker, we have a specialty in this area, and this is the area where we really focus on. The other reason why we focus on this business immigration is because once you are above 30, it becomes very difficult for you to get into Canada through the express entry route. The express entry route is the shortest route for getting Canadian PR. But for that, it is a point-based system, and you get points if you are below 30 years of age. So once you are beyond 30 years, the best option for you to immigrate to Canada is the business immigration option. And under business immigration option, there are 3 broad categories, which you can see here in the triangle. The reason why we have given an inverted pyramid over here is because in this category, right on the top, first comes the entrepreneur category. The entrepreneur is a provincial program, and these are the programs which are run by various provinces of Canada. Now, this program, the fitment criteria is very liberal. We'll talk more about in the details about this program, and you will see that why majority of the people can fit into this category. Then the next category, of course, we have the owner operator, and later on in the presentation, we'll be talking more about this route. In this route, it is much faster for you to get PR. However, there are some strict conditions under this, and few people will qualify. Then right over here, the small part of the triangle is where the startup visa, which is again a federal program. And here, this is again the fastest way to get the PR. But there are very few people who will be qualifying under this program. Now let's continue with our presentation. Let's move back to our triangle, the inverted pyramid which we are talking about. We have seen here that the entrepreneur program, how it functions, right? I would just like to go back to the slides. I'm getting a few questions. So I would like to cover to the slides. I have a few questions as per the what is the education requirement? What is the minimum investment amount? So let's spend some time on this slide. You can look at it, and I'm sure these questions will be answered. So if you see over here, the education requirement is very, very, liberal requirement. You just need a 12th standard in most of the provinces. In British Columbia, Ontario, which are the popular provinces, you just need to be a 12th grade. As far as the investment amount is concerned, it ranges, the lowest amount is 150,000 Canadian dollars in Nova Scotia. However, we would advise you that, you need to be prepared to invest at least 250,000 Canadian dollars, because in order to get a good, decent business, especially in places like British Columbia and Ontario, you need to invest that kind of money so that your business is viable. Right, in terms of net worth requirement, it ranges from 4 lakh to 6 lakhs dollars. So when we talk about net worth, it includes the properties in your name as well as your spouse's name. So it includes the net worth for you as well as your spouse. And when we are talking about the property, we look at the market value. So there is a market valuation report which will have to be taken, and your net worth will also be independently verified by an agency appointed by the Canadian government. So this is where we'll help you when we do your evaluation. We look at we'll ask you information about all your assets also to help us to evaluate this factor. Right, in terms of English language requirement, you can see over here, it is very, very basic. CLB level 4 is very basic English. So what essentially is important in this case is they are looking for people with business experience to come there and set up small and medium businesses. So this program is targeted at people having business experience who would like to move to Canada, set up a business over there and help their economy grow. Okay, so let's move back now. The process we have understood how much time it's going to take. So entrepreneur program here, the area is very large because most of the more people can fit into this area. Now the next program which we are talking about is the owner operator program. Now owner operator program is not an immigration program. It is just a route. It is supplement to the express entry program. Now, this is again a federal program in the sense that you can move, live, and work anywhere in Canada. Unlike the provincial program is you can only go to the province where you have been qualified, where you have the requisite points, and you are invited to go over there. Then you have to go to that province, run your business over there, set up your business over there, and live there for a certain number of years. So in case of federal program, that is not required. You are free to run your business and live anywhere in Canada. Right now, this program actually helps qualified individuals. We'll see who are the qualified individuals in the next slide. It helps you to score more points to get through the express entry program. Right in the beginning of the presentation, I said that Canada has an express entry program whereby people generally who are below 30 years of age can directly get a PR. Now, what happens is once you are about 30 years of age, you lose points. So this program will help you get the additional points so that you qualify under the express entry program. You can invest either in an existing business or a new business anywhere in Canada. What you do is under this program, you need to first invest in a business, right? You need to set up a company in Canada and invest in the business. Then that company will give you a job offer. It will appoint you as CEO or COO or as a general manager. So essentially, your company will appoint you to manage your business. So you are working for your company. You are creating a job for yourself in your company. So once the job offer is issued by you or company to you, we need to get it approved by the Canadian Labour Ministry. We need to show them that, look, we are creating this job. It will not have any negative impact on the existing jobs. So once that is done, once the Canadian government, the Labour Ministry approves your job offer, you can apply for PR, for work permit. And then on the work permit, you can move to Canada. And once you have the requisite number of points, now depending upon what kind of position you have, what qualifications you will have, you will get the points along with the work permit. And based on that, you can apply for your PR either after 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, right? So the entire process, in this process, you can be in Canada in 6 months on a work permit, and you can get a PR in 2 years, right? Now, we mentioned that only qualified people can take the benefit of this particular program. So let us now see who are these qualified people. This is just a suggested criteria. This is not laid down anywhere. From our experience, based on our experience in dealing with this program, we feel that these are the people who have higher chances of success in this program. So typically we look at people who are 35 years and above, graduation and above, who are very good in English, that is CLB level 7 and above, are ready, can invest 250,000 and more. And most importantly, they have business owner or senior management experience. The next program that you would have seen in that inverted pyramid right at the bottom is the startup visa. Now, a startup visa is a very specialized and unique immigration program. Under this program, you can get a Canadian permanent residency if you meet certain conditions. Now, very few people, very few people will qualify for a startup visa because the requirements are pretty stringent. Now, what is a startup? When we know all of us, startup is a buzzword everywhere. We are seeing so many new businesses are starting up. So startup means if you have an innovative business idea, you need to have something different. It has to be something innovative. What you are doing. So governments all over the world are encouraging innovative ideas and innovative businesses. So Canadian government also wants good brains, people with good ideas and innovations to come to Canada and develop the business over there. So you need to have an innovative idea which is commercially viable and which can be executed in Canada. The idea or the business should create jobs for the Canadians, and it should be scalable at a global level. So these are the things you need in order to have a qualifying idea, right? We will talk more about that in the next slide. Now, what are the key features of this particular program? This is one of the most popular program and sought after. Other, I would say, it is the most sought after program because it is the quickest way to get to PR compared to traditional immigration programs like owner operator and entrepreneur program, right? We'll see in the next slide why is that. There is no point-based system under this program. You don't need to score any points. You don't need to qualify, nothing. It's straight away PR. You don't need to even get a work permit. It is direct program which gets you to PR. While sitting over here in India itself, you can start working on this program and you can get your PR. No exploratory visit, no work permit, straight away PR. Right? Again, this is a federal program, which means you can live, work, and study anywhere in Canada, unlike the provincial programs, right? There is, again, this is a very important feature of this program, that there is no immediate compulsion for you to stay in Canada. We have seen many people coming to us, they have well-established business in India. They are primarily looking at settling their family in Canada, their wife and the children in Canada, and they plan to, continue with the business in India and move to Canada at a future date. And for such kind of people, this is the only viable option, because under both the earlier options that we discussed, the entrepreneur program as well as the owner operator program, you are required to go to Canada. You are required to set up a business, work in your business, and only after that you will get your PR. So majority of the time in both the programs, at least 9 months in a year, you have to live, so stay in Canada and work in your business and developing it. Whereas under this program, there is no such requirement. It is very flexible. You can keep moving between, you can spend time with your family in Canada as well as attend to your business in India. You can switch between these two countries very easily. And also, like the other two programs, under this program, you can take your spouse as well as children below 22 years of age. What are the requirements for this program? Like I'm told earlier, that very few people will qualify under the program, although because of the benefits and the advantages it offers, it is the most sought after program, but very few people will qualify. Why? Because first of all, you need to have an innovative idea, which has potential to compete globally. Now, what is an innovative idea? The innovative idea, when we think of it, generally people will think that, oh, it has to be some technology, it has to be some app, it has to be something in healthcare. These are the sectors where innovation is possible. Well, that is not the case. Innovation is a very, very broad term, and you can have innovation in any type of business. Innovation can be in terms of an innovative product, or it can be in terms of an innovative process. You may be making the same product as someone else is making, but you are following a process which is different. Your process may be more cost efficient. Your process may be energy efficient. Your process may be environment friendly. So if you have an innovative product or a process or a delivery method, whatever it is, and if you can patent that product, process, or delivery method and create an intellectual property around it, it becomes easy for you to qualify under this visa. So we will help you in bringing out the innovation in your product or the process, extrapolating that innovation to make it a viable business plan, right? The next stage is you need to get a letter of support or funding from the following entities. Now, the Canadian government, when they came up with this program, what they have said is that, look, innovation is a very, very, technical and diverse subject. We are not in a position to say which program, which idea is innovative. So they've appointed certain agencies which specialize in helping the startup businesses in scaling up their business as well as raising funds. So essentially, these are venture capital funds, angel investors, and business incubators. So Canadian government has appointed these agencies. It has given the list of these agencies who are qualified or authorized by the government to say that your idea is innovative and it can qualify for startup visa, right? So all you need to do is under this program, if you have an innovative idea, you need to build a business plan around an innovative idea, how this business can be commercially executed in Canada and benefit Canada. You need to make a presentation to this agencies who will, grill you. They will ask you questions about your business plan. And then if they are satisfied that your idea is really innovative and it is going to benefit Canada, they will issue you a letter of support. And not only they will help you in growing your business, but they will also give you financial support. So you need to raise the money for them. So you need to convince them that your idea is really innovative. And once they are convinced, they will give you a letter of support. And once you have a letter of support, you can straight away apply for your PR. You don't need to go to Canada. You apply for, you can do all the presentations to these agencies right over here. You apply for your PR. And once you get your PR, you can move to Canada. Right? The other requirements under the program is that you need to meet the English language requirement. Now, this English language requirement is also not very stringent like the owner operator. You need to have CLB level 5, which is a moderate level of English. Right? And the third requirement under this program is that you need to have sufficient funds to support yourself and your family once you are in Canada. Like we know, a startup is a new business and it takes some time to become profitable. So the Canadian government wants to see that whether you have enough money to support yourself and your family in Canada while your business is being developed. So this requirement is very minimal. Again, say if you're there for a family of 3, you need to show that you have 20,000 Canadian dollars, right? Which is approximately about 10 lakhs of rupees. And for a family of 4, you need to show 25,000 Canadian dollars. So these are the basic requirements to qualify under this program: innovative idea, letter of support, English, and money. The last 2 conditions are very easy to fulfill. The first 2 conditions are very difficult, but that is where we come in. We will help you in fulfilling those conditions, provided you have an innovative business idea. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. I'm sure you will be having a lot of questions. I can see questions coming on the Q&A part. I can see questions in the chat also. So I will request you to please post your questions on the Q&A part only, not in the chat. It becomes easy for us to communicate once it is there in the Q&A section. Right? So let's just summarize. I've inverted the pyramid over here. I've made it, I've made it a triangle over here, and you can see that on the right-hand side, we have the timelines for various programs. On the left-hand side, we have the eligibility requirement. So based on the timeline, I have arranged it, and you can see the startup visa is the fastest way. You get a direct PR. You will get your letter of support in 6 months. You can apply for a PR thereafter, and you can be in Canada on PR in 12 to 18 months thereafter. Right? However, the requirement of these programs are quite stringent. You need to have an innovative idea that we discussed earlier. You need to get a letter of support from the designated organization. You need to score at least CLB level 5 in your English test, and you need to show that you have the settlement money. Right? Next, when it comes the fastest program, next fastest program is the LMIA program, the owner operator program. Under which this, it will take you about 3 to 6 months to get your work permit and the labor management approval. Once you have your work permit, you can move to Canada, and then you can get your PR in 1 to 2 years under the Express Entry program. Now, you need to be careful, you need to be careful under the owner operator program. There are a lot of people who are saying that, look, we'll get you a work permit, and once you have your work permit, you move to Canada and you will automatically get PR. That is not the case. That is not the case. You can get a work permit, you can move to Canada, but that does not necessarily mean that you will get a PR under the Express Entry. You need to get the requisite points. Only if you have the requisite points, you can move into under this program to Canada and get PR. Otherwise, you will simply be there on a work permit and you will not be able to get PR. So let me give you an example. You need to see what are the points you are scoring under the Express Entry first. And you need to see what is a shortfall. Let's say you need 100 points to qualify under the Express Entry, and currently you are at 70 points, right? You need 30 additional points. So you need to see that the work permit that you are getting, will that help you in getting those additional 30 points? only then you will be making up the points for the PR. If it is not going to get you additional 30 points, then you will not qualify for PR. So just be careful about that. The requirement under the owner operator category is that you need to be senior manager, where like we have discussed earlier. You need to be, if you're a business owner, then your operations have to be sizable. You need to have very good English level, which is CLB 7 and above, and it is preferred graduation and above. Right, the third category over here, where majority of people would fit in, is the entrepreneur program. Under this program, it will take you about 12 to 18 months to move to Canada on a work permit. Thereafter, you will be given about 2 years to set up your business once you move over there. After 2 years, if you have set up your business as per your business plan, then you can apply for your PR. And it could take you again anywhere between 1 year to 3 years to get your PR thereafter. So the total process can take anywhere between 2 years to 5 years for you to get the PR. Right, the conditions are very limited. All you need is a business management experience, funds to invest, and net worth. The education and the English levels criteria are very liberal, and most of you can meet that. Right, so friends, with that, we'll come to the end of our presentation. For those of you who are interested in the startup visa and the owner operator visa, we'll be having a dedicated webinars for the same. Relationship managers and consultants will get in touch with you, and you can register yourself to attend that.